it's Em, here today to talk about The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno-Garcia. It's a gothic-esque novel, which I think is what she's known for anyway. I read a year or so ago The Beautiful Ones and liked it. This one was on a library display shelf as a new book, so I picked it up. This is told in 3 time periods, 1998, 1934, and 1908. The present day story, which is still 1998, but the core, I want to say, story is that Minerva is a college student in New England at Stonebridge, I think is the name of the college in this, but it's loosely based on Endicott College in Beverly, Massachusetts. She's trying to finish her thesis. Her thesis is about this obscure author named Beatrice Tremblay. I think the last name was maybe plucked from horror author Paul Tremblay. Anyway, Beatrice also went to Stonebridge College, and Minerva's been fascinated with her and her work for, ever since childhood, and always wanted to kind of go to New England because Beatrice's stories are set there. She's very Shirley Jackson-esque, I think, is the idea. And I guess Beatrice wrote one novel called The Vanishing, which is actually rooted in something that happened while Beatrice was at college. Anyway, Minerva's struggling to finish her thesis. It's summer break, 1998, and Beatrice is obscure. There's not a whole lot of information about her, but some of her personal papers are held by Carolyn Wingate, who is a local wealthy woman, someone who donates to the college because she went to the college and was there and friends with Beatrice. So Minerva's looking for an angle on her thesis, and Carolyn's grandson Noah also goes to the college. He's not academically inclined. He's bounced from college to college. He's landed here. His grandmother Carolyn wants him to get his degree, wants him to marry a girl she's picked out for him, that kind of thing. And he's not really enthusiastic about it, but Minerva meets up with him at a party, and he invites her over, and Minerva meets Carolyn, and Carolyn takes a shine to Minerva, and Minerva's able to get the papers, the personal papers of Beatrice. She begins to read the kind of personal diary account of the actual vanishing of Beatrice's college roommate, Virginia, Ginny, to see how it relates to the novel The Vanishing. Now, that comparison is moot in this book because this is really about, in 1998, Minerva's doing the research and weird things are also happening on the campus. And in 1934, we're getting the story that Beatrice writes of being at Stonebridge and being in love with Ginny, but Ginny had a wealthy boyfriend, and then losing Ginny, and Ginny vanishing basically, and all the different theories, and what happened to Ginny, because it's kind of a void in Beatrice's life. And then we're also getting, in 1908, Minerva's grandmother or great-grandmother, Nana Alba. She was from Mexico, so Minerva's also from Mexico. She's an international student. But Nana Alba, her story is about something evil stalking her when she's 19, in bad things happening on the ranch that they live at, and sussing out what kind of evil is happening and who is perpetrating it. So a lot of this is about witches and vampire adjacent creatures that the name of which I'm not going to attempt to pronounce, but and honestly, anybody who's read this kind of thing very much will figure it out pretty quickly who is doing what in the various timelines. So in my written review, I just mentioned this is more one of those books you read for confirmation of your suspicions rather than to really discover who done it, because you pretty much know. It's pretty clear. It was a fun read, except for the animal death. Now, it's not... Minerva has a stray cat that she feeds. The death of this cat is not super graphic or anything, but I still like killing animals for the sake of your drama. Besides the fact that it's cliche, and I know it's a trope, so some of this is just tropey, right? But like, find something else, y'all. Stop hurting, animals, especially cats. For me, that's a non-starter. So yeah, that, and there's some other animals that die, and I don't enjoy that in any form, really, or for any dramatic sake. Even if you're putting them in a potion, which happens to a moth, I think, and things like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested in reading about that. So I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads because it's well written, it's engaging. I read it quickly because I was interested in continuing to read it, even though I kind of knew who did what and how it all was going to play out. There are a couple of loose ends. There's a student that Minerva is kind of like, there's something weird with this kid. Well, this kid's a pain in the butt, and he has gotten permission to stay on campus over the summer, and he's just obnoxious, and Minerva doesn't like him, and she's, resident supervisor type person, so she has to deal with this kid, and a storyline kind of doesn't go anywhere, and then there's another kind of open-ended question at the end that, Minerva acknowledges, like, I don't know, but I'm going to err on the side of caution kind of thing. So there were a couple of ambiguosities there. Yeah, so I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was well written, but it was a little bit predictable, and the animal thing just is an automatic. I didn't take off like a whole star for it. If it's really bad, I'll stop reading. If it's pretty bad, I'll dock a whole star. This one was like not great. I mean, if it has to happen, I guess this is the way to do it. But I still took off some for that. So kind of half a star for that, half a star for the predictability, but the rest of it's really good. I mean, I did enjoy this book. And I if I remember correctly, I liked the beautiful ones too. I haven't read Mexican Gothic or any of her other stuff. I know she's got several books now, but I tend to like Gothic stories, and it seems to be what she writes. So it seems like I should read more of her work, maybe. So yes, I finished this. I am going to finish Queen of the Damned. I'm 85. I think I'm at like 85 or 88%. And I also just picked up The Writing Retreat, which is a book I've heard about from various places. I only just read like the first few I'm like literally only 10 or 15 pages in. We'll see if I stick with it. I'm kind of on the fence about it. And yeah, till I finish one of these things and have something more to say. Until next time, take care.